What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, B Zanny, joined by my co-host D Woody, and today we've got another great episode for you guys. Going to be discussing the gameplay of Night Reign. Going to talk Dreamhack. Going to talk COD. Going to talk Halo. It's going to be a great episode filled with a bunch of content, so make sure to stay tuned for episode 64. Let's get right to it. All right, Dak, we've been on sabbatical for a little bit, but we're back to cover our weekend at Dreamhack and
Yes, sir.
and some gaming that we've been doing. How we feeling?
Good, man. Good. Dreamhack was awesome. It's crazy to see how far it's come since our first time going 3 years ago. And
Yeah.
Night Reign came out. We've been grinding that. Game's fun. I enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Playing CS, watching CS. There's a lot going on right now in esports. So, yeah, we're in a peak season, it feels like.
A lot of ESWC stuff coming out too. Like they're starting to ramp up their marketing and content for it. That's at the end of July.
Yeah,
so we've got Champs the third week of this month, and then we've got ESWC or EWC. Why am I saying ES? EWC at the end of July, third week of July. So we've got some stuff to look forward to
For sure.
But yeah, Night Reign to get this episode started has been pretty fun.
Yeah.
But what it's done for me, for the most part, is make me want to. I just want another Elden Ring game.
Yeah.
I need another Souls to come out.
Yeah.
I really
Honestly,
do, because
that or just play through Elden Ring with a new build or something. That's what it's made me
Yeah.
want to do.
yeah, and even that, like that whole process is still, so time consuming to build that initial build up
Yeah.
for your character. So but it's the only thing for me on Night Reign is the getting to that final boss fight and getting him so low and then dying. The replayability for me after those moments is so low, bro.
Yeah.
Because we just went through 40 minutes of leveling and 40 minutes of gameplay to lose a boss fight and not be able just to go back into the boss fight again. Like, I would like to see an update where it gives you. No, that would be dumb. That would defeat the point of the game, honestly. If it gave you like 2 tries at the final boss, so
Yeah.
like even when you all 3 die, like you go back to the gate. But
Yeah.
then I was like, that would just defeat the game's purpose, honestly. Like,
Nah, I feel you though. Like
it'd make it too easy.
they are long days. Like this game torches time. You'll play a couple runs,
It
you're
does.
like, damn, it's been 2 hours. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it is a fun game. It definitely is like a side game, which the $40 price point makes sense. I'm not mad at it at all. I think you
Yeah.
get what you pay for, and it's worth it.
Especially since some games are costing 80,
Yeah.
starting to cost 80 on these like 20, starting in like 2026,
Yeah,
and on the newer engines and stuff.
But I've told everyone that's asked like how the game is, it's definitely worth the price point. If it was $70 game, I don't think it'd be worth it. But
I agree.
$40 is
Even
perfect.
60.
I think it does get repetitive, and right now what's keeping me playing is trying to kill every boss. But once I kill every boss, I don't think I'll really be coming back to this game unless we just want to hop on and have fun on it every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
and
right
then-
now you're playing. You be playing solo with randoms.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna need 2 homies if you're gonna get back on.
Yeah.
Type shit after defeating every boss.
For sure. But I think it's fun. It definitely has variability, like how you want to play. Every character has their own role. So if
Yeah.
you like magic, if you like archery, they got everything for everyone. It's fun now because I feel like I'm getting to the point where I can consistently get to like level 12 or 13 and then like make a good run at the final boss. Going to the big middle castle on day 2 is the move every time. You get so many runes
Yeah,
from that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like guaranteed level 13, 14.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. It's been fun. For samurai lovers, they got the Executor, great character. They got Wilder, great character. There's not many skins, and they are skins. You don't get to customize your helmet, your body, your legs. Like, it's all one outfit. So that's keeping me playing. But once you unlock Darkness, there's some other skins, but are they really as cool as Darkness? Not really.
I think Raider has the best skins options total. He's got like the big Razorback with the tail, like Gaius is whatever looking, and then he's got the big like fluffy mushroom marshmallow looking skin, and they have a one that looks like Horaloo. Like that's his skin options are the best by far in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think overall it's a good game. It's like an 8.2. 7.8 to 8.2 range.
I was going to say 7.9.
Yeah.
7.9.
Yeah. So
for sure, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good. It's a thumb up, maybe like a thumb and a half up. And there's a lot that they could do with it. There's a lot they could add to make it more fun, which hopefully they will. And yeah, it's a good appetizer to keep us full while we're waiting on the next Elden Ring.
Absolutely. They already announced that a duo mode is coming, as well as enhanced bosses, I think they said, or something like that. Which where I'm at, I don't need harder. I'm already struggling, bro. Relax. But yeah, so they've already been announcing some content that's coming down the pipeline. So we'll see. Definitely having fun playing it though, and we're in that boat where when we beat all the bosses, what's the next step? But we'll see.
Solid game. Definitely go play it. If you guys played Elden Ring, you'll love it. I even think people who never played Elden Ring would enjoy this game if they're into the whole co-op
genre
trying to kill bosses thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you just got to kind of teach them what the
you definitely have a leg
means.
Up if you played Elden Ring, like knowing all the weapons and what all the items do, like bringing that knowledge over from Elden Ring. We kind of just hopped right in it. So
absolutely.
But yeah,
Night Reign's cool. Moving on, we experienced DreamHack a couple weekends ago. That was super, super fun. We went 3 years ago or so, and this year was way bigger. I mean, probably triple the square footage that was used, and definitely, I mean, triple the people maybe too.
Yeah, for sure.
There was just a lot going on. You know, the moment you walk in, there's a bunch of indie game booths and art booths and whatnot, and then there's a open play area. There's different games set up. There was a Siege
PCs,
X.
They said at the open play.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. There was a Siege X set up. There was a stadium for Overwatch set up, like little station. Intel had a big area where we sat down and played Counter-Strike, and they were watching Counter-Strike, and they had a little Counter-Strike LAN, like one match LAN thing going on there, so that was pretty cool. And then obviously we had Call of Duty and Halo going on, which is what we're mainly going to discuss here. But the overall experience was great, man. We saw everyone from Chads down to furries, like the whole spectrum was there. The whole spectrum of gamers were there,
really
and it was listen, unfortunately, involuntarily, I'm a people watcher. I just am. I'm a people watcher, and sometimes I stare. And this was the best sight to be for people watching. I tell you.
Yeah. People from all walks of life there for sure when it comes to gaming. And then just going there 3 years ago, all they had was the College Rocket League World Series or whatever, women's Counter-Strike, and was there one more LAN going on, or was that it?
Yeah, no, there was one more going on, I'm pretty sure.
But it was very small, and the lights were all on. The Dungeons and Dragons tabletop games area was at the end of the booths, and there was just booths here and there, very small. We come in this time, the lights are off. It's all lit up by all the RGBs coming from the PCs and the booths and everything. There's smoke. They got photo booths now. They got Brawl Stars has the second biggest arena in the venue. People are going crazy over there. They got bigger tents in the back. They got all the team tents. It was 10 times bigger than 3 years ago. It was insane.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So
it was like
definitely
gaming
fun.
paradise for a weekend. Just everything you could ever want, all in one place.
Yeah, the only thing that was unfortunate was Halo and COD being on the complete
Mm-hmm.
opposite ends of the arena, but I think it was kind of smart that they did that because you would have to walk through everything else to
Yeah.
get to it. You know that those are similar audiences, and you know that both are they're gonna go to both sites. I mean, like we did, and
So
so having them on opposite sides and making those people, from a marketing perspective, walk through everything else to
mhm.
get there is pretty smart. Now that I think about it.
So to give you just some perspective on how far apart they were from each other, we were in COD and we were like, "Oh shit, Optics in a Map 5 Slayer right now. Let's go watch." In Halo,
Yeah,
it hadn't
yeah,
started. We got up, left, started walking. When we got to the Halo land, it was 45 to 40 something, and I was like, "Oh
46.
shit."
It
Yeah,
was
so
like
we saw
45,
like the
46
last
or
3
45,
kills.
48. Yeah, it was crazy. And honestly, the walk doesn't feel like it took that
Yeah.
long at all. It's just some sort of time moves quicker in that when you're
Yeah.
walking through that venue. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Honestly, I,
Mhm.
I can't wait for it to go back if it next year if it's there, or not next year, but next time it's there.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a really
I think
really
it's
fun
there every
time.
year.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
We
it's
just
yearly.
haven't. We just didn't go.
Yeah, we just
We
haven't
just
gone.
had no reason to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I hope we have some good events there.
Mhm.
That makes it worth it. But yeah, we were there watching some Halo, watching some COD.
Counter
We'll go ahead and huh?
Counter Strike 2. I forgot about that. They had Counter Strike going on in the big arena, so we went and
Oh,
watched that too.
IEM. Yeah.
Yeah.
IEM Dallas, yeah. So we didn't really know if our tickets had access to it or not, but we figured out we had access to the upper bowl and went and watched some Counter Strike as well, and that was really
They
fun to
get
watch.
rowdy.
They get rowdy. The chants are fucking "fuck you" Twitch chat is my favorite
Yeah.
chant of
My
all
favorite
time.
part was when they did the face it ranks on random people in the
Oh
crowd
yeah,
between matches. Yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah, it
good.
was great.
Fucking 1 through 10. So yeah, it was super fun. But let's get into some matches here. Starting with the CDL Major 3 or Major 4, sorry. This was just like the olden days back in CWL, back at MLG events, where we started on a Friday and had so many matches, and were able to have that open concept with challengers right next to it. That was fun to hear the shit talk and just check up on every once in a while. But getting us started on Friday, we had Miami going up against Minnesota. This was a 3-0 smoke job.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty quick start. Some of these were on Alpha, some of these were on Bravo. We had two streams going on at once, but the map one was pretty close. But other than that, Miami just took it. They were looking good all weekend, to be honest. So
Yeah.
they took that one with ease. And then we had what was supposed to be a good matchup, Thieves versus Surge, but Thieves came out hot with the 3-0, and you could tell from this win that they were looking dangerous because Surge have been very competitive, been in the finals of tournaments against LA Thieves twice, two other times this year, and usually they're competitive. But this was just a smoke show, 250, 100, 6-2, 3-0. Like, it was just the quickest series we've ever seen.
Oh 04 dropped
Um,
his name as a KD.
yeah. Yep.
0.4. Tough.
Yep.
Tough series from the boy.
Tough series. And then we had Atlanta FaZe versus C9 New York.
Wait.
What?
Oh, well, I'm in a different page, I guess, but in order, OpTic Toronto was next.
Oh, well, because it was on Alpha.
I guess, yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, I'm just going in the order that the Breaking Point has it. FaZe in New York. FaZe take this one 3-1. C9 were able to take the dealership S&D, but other than a round 5 control, this one was pretty set for FaZe. You knew that they were looking pretty scary when they're coming out to land and winning hard points, which was their struggle, heading into this tournament. So seeing them kind of convincingly win those two, you were like, oh crap,
Yeah.
FaZe is going to be here.
Yeah.
And then we go into the OpTic Texas versus Toronto Ultra match. OpTic take it 3-1. So they rounded off the online split by playing them and 3-0ing them. So we needed to see that replicated here this weekend. and they take it 3-1, 250-184, 6-4. They lose the protocol control 1-3, and then 250-176 in the map 4 red card. So they were able to take this one pretty convincingly. Hukin Shasi had a really good series, which was nice to see. I was just a little bit concerned that control was our best game mode, and we got off to a rocky start in it.
Yeah, but Toronto's starting to slide, man. They've looked pretty rough this last split, and that's not good going into champs. I think, as everyone else has said, they probably should have kept Merc.
Yep.
And now we got Merc, so we shit on him.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, that's tough.
It'd be like that. So OpTic advanced into the next winners bracket match, and Toronto Ultra fall to the losers bracket, which is where we get into in these next matches. We have the Surge, after they lose to Thieves, fall down and play the Falcons, and this is one that we were not in attendance for because we figured it was just going to be one of those series, and it turned out to be one of those series for Vegas. They take this one map 5, round 10. We were walking through the venue at this time, and I pulled it up on my phone, and I was like, holy shit, Dak. The Vegas Falcons beat them. So Surge go home top 12 at this tournament, and I bet Rambo Ray's regretting talking shit to the flank about talking shit about his team,
sure.
which is insane. They weren't able to do anything. They won both hard points in this and got Neslo'd by the Falcons, which is crazy.
And Pred going crazy with a plus 26 on the day. And
Yeah,
I love
he was going
Xnid.
stupid in that.
Xnid finally won his
Me too.
first series on LAN. He was cheesing, smiling ear to ear. Like, he is just the most lovable player in the league. I feel like.
He is. He's just there to play COD, man.
Yep.
That's it.
He's just happy to be here.
So yeah, Vegas move on to losers round 2, and then the Minnesota Rocker, after falling to Miami, play the Boston Breach. Rocker needing to go on a run here in this tournament for their champ's life, and they keep it going in this match with a 3-2 against the Boston Breach. So the Boston Breach go home T12 alongside the Surge, only taking the map 1 and 3. And they showed some ice. Minnesota Rockers showed some ice in this. Not only did they win the round 11 map 2, but they just closed it out and didn't even give them a chance in the map 5. So this was also a great series from Nero, 117 kills and a 1.16 over the span of this match. So he shut Snoopy down from a pace perspective, and they were able to get this dub. So their champ's life is still open somehow, some way.
Nero had the series of a lifetime, or the tourney of a lifetime for him. I mean, he was going crazy. He dropped 50 in map 4 in this series.
Yeah.
He was going crazy.
117 kills is bonkers. But nonetheless, that's exactly who they needed to beat in that round because of OpTic's wins online and because of OpTic's win in the winners round 1, they were actually quite a few points ahead of the Rocker now that they actually went into 7th place above the Boston Breach. So now Rocker needed to win 2 or 3 more matches to be able to go above Boston and get into the race. So next in losers, we had Toronto Ultra going up against the Royal Ravens. I thought this one was, going into the weekend was going to be more of a smoke show for Toronto Ultra, but we have been seeing them slip, and they actually lose. They actually go map 5 rather, as I thought it was going to be much closer and win round 11. This one was happening on the Bravo station, and it was a sub show for the Toronto Ultra with Kleenex and Joe Deceives going crazy.
Yeah, and it was crazy. Toronto was up 4-0 in the final search, and Ravens brought it back and then absolutely just had a shit round 11.
Yeah, they fumbled that pretty hard.
But yeah, I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Toronto going into champs. I thought they were a solid top 3, top 4 type of team, and now they're really slipping. So this could be OpTic's chance.
It could be.
Catch Thieves on a down tourney, hopefully.
Down tourney champs.
Yeah, I mean, you know how
Scrap
Scrap is. You know how Scrap is at champs. You know how he gets.
Yeah, it's true. He don't win.
He don't win champs.
And And then we get into Cloud9 versus Gentlemates. So I'm not sure why there was. I don't know. It just took forever for them to play. It felt like,
Mm-hmm.
but Gentlemates finally get to show up on the main stage. They play Cloud9 New York, which is the probably one of the best draws they could get for a chance to get a dub on the board. And Gentlemates find a 3-0 on to C9 New York to get their tourney started. So these first two rounds of matches were absolutely nuts, with Surge losing, with Falcons beating them as well, with Minnesota beating Rocker, like, or sorry, Minnesota beating Breach. Like, there was just a bunch of shit happening. And LAG adds to that with the 3-0 over New York. The maps were pretty close, other than the map 2, 6-2. But it was really just an overall good series, especially for Lunars, who dropped a 1.27 in this. Everyone on the side of LAG positive.
Yeah, Lunars was looking good this weekend, and
his S&D especially.
Yeah, and that's good to see, because he's been talked about being one of the best in challengers for years, and kind of has had a stinky performance in the CDL,
it's tough joining LAG.
Yeah, no, I'm not holding that against him at all. Like, this is one of the worst teams to get thrown into, but it's good to see him.
You can still showcase your talents on bad teams. I mean, like, look at Exnid this whole year. Like, everyone's been saying Exnid's gross, and they hadn't won a hard point in 30 maps or whatever.
But I feel like you got to learn how to shine in the shit as well.
It's harder as an AR as well, I would say.
But I think that's also something. Some people just play better off their team, and when their team is dog shit, what can you do?
Yeah, unfortunately. And then our last match to wrap up Friday was Minnesota Rocker going up against Vegas. And this one went all the way to a map 5, and again, map 5 dominance from the Rocker. They're able to take this one in another Nero Hero series, where he went crazy, 47 in the map 1.
Yeah.
And
he carried them map 1. They were all negative, and he dropped 47.
Yeah, that map 1 was crazy. He went 47 and 23 over at 2 KD. And was able to get that dub for them. But yeah, they take both of the hard points and then the map 5. So they defend the Neslo and get it done. And so their champs' hopes are still alive going into Saturday.
Let's hear it for Rocker.
Which is kind of crazy. And getting into Saturday, we had Ultra versus Gentlemates getting us started. Gentlemates off a clean 3-0, feeling good. They get into the map 1 and get smoked 250 to 34. This was an absolute smoke show. It wasn't even close. It was one of the most boring maps I've ever seen.
So bad.
And it was the worst hardpoint loss on the year. It's not as bad as the Cold War LA Thieves 250 to 18 or whatever it was. But it could have been worse, right? But 34 points is just insane.
No, but we were sitting there, and
I'll get scrap, head ass.
LAG looked good the day before, so I thought maybe they'd come out and give a struggling Ultra a bit of a series.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It was like 80-0 at one point, and I was like, oh, wait a second. Like, this is not going good. And
not at all.
It was just downhill from there. They fought back a little bit in the series, tried to make it map 5 on red card, but it was too late.
This was just a series for Ultra to say, yeah, I know we're slipping, but not that bad. Let's relax. That's what they told the crowd
exactly.
for this one. So yeah, they were able to take that one. Then we get back into winners round 2 here. We have Miami going up against LA Thieves, and Miami took this one. And this is where the beef started between Super and Scrap. Obviously, we saw the podcast clips of Envoy and the 100 Thieves or LA Thieves talking about that, Super was baiting and stuff like that. So Super had a chip on his shoulder, and Miami takes this one in the map 5. And just to describe the scene for you, as Miami's going over to fist bump them, Super was jacked up on adrenaline and whatnot, and Scrap was fist bumping him like this, and last second, maybe went to go flip him off instead, but Super was hype as fuck and punched his fist to fist bump him, and it went through Scrap's hand and hit himself in the face. And then Scrap went up and Lil guyed him, grabbed him by the collar, and was like, "You fucking watch your shit." And it was pretty fucking intense. So crazy. Seeing that live was hilarious. Yeah. In person, that was That was
and
crazy.
we had our friend who had never watched COD in person or really at all with us, and we were like, yeah, bro, this is gonna be a good series. They're gonna talk hella shit, and then that happened.
Yeah.
So it was a great showcase series.
It was literally, it was 5-2. Miami are about to win the map 5, and I turned to him and I go, if Miami closes this out, you're about to see some fucking shit talk.
Yeah.
Like, they're about to go crazy.
And they
and lo and behold, they almost fucking fought on stage. So, COD was back at this event. What's the likelihood that we go back to this format where we have hella matches on Friday? We have the challengers right there, a Bravo stream, and a big open event. And this also happens. This was like COD at its finest. And it went map 5. And Miami get it done. Moving on to finals.
We've had some time now to think about this. And I think this is a learning lesson for him. I think he never should have been that hyped up. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to see them again. And he should have known that after the match.
Yeah,
he should have known that. Like, this was...
That's true.
He was celebrating like they just knocked him out of the tournament.
Yeah.
And then they got embarrassed whenever they see each other again. So, Scrap got the last laugh. And that is why you don't talk shit unless it's all said and done.
Facts.
Because really, this is meaningless at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good confidence booster for them going into the next match that they have, but then again, it doesn't, as we'll get to, it doesn't turn out well for them. The next match of the day, winners round 2, OpTic Texas versus Atlanta FaZe. So tough draw for the OpTic boys, especially since FaZe's hardpoint is looking good. FaZe end up taking this one 3-1. It's a 250 to 246 map 1, round 11 map 2. And then OpTic smokes them in the control 3-0. And then red card did not look too good for OpTic as they lost by 100 points on that one. But
takeover map.
Yeah, and this was a tough series for Dashy. He just could not find his footing. Was looked a little slow on the map, but then again, like if a couple things go their way in map 1, map 2, this is a 3-0 for OpTic. So. Tough to see, but OpTic will drop to losers and FaZe move on.
OpTic kind of choked the map 1. They were getting kills. It looked good for a second. I don't even know how FaZe got back in that hill. And then the round 11, Abizi got a 2-piece nade on a normal ass nade that everyone throws.
Day 1 nade too. Insane.
So that was tragic.
But moving on to losers round 3 after Scrap and Super Beef, they fall to play Toronto Ultra. I mean, with the way Ultra was currently looking, and you had Thieves all the way to get this one started, and Thieves take it 3-1. The most surprising thing is they got shit on in a control, which we haven't seen all year. They got 3-1 in the control, but other than that, they handled business. And Toronto did look a little bit better in this series, but unfortunately, they got smoked in the S&D and weren't able to close out those hard points. So. Thieves looking to continue to get these dubs and make the losers bracket run.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're at here. Then we go back to the losers bracket again. OpTic Texas versus Minnesota Rocker. 3-1 for the side of OpTic. So Minnesota's run is done. They don't get enough points to overcome Boston Breach, and unfortunately, they are not going to be at champs. OpTic Texas 100% secured their spot after Breach lost, so they had no worry about this. They had no stress on their shoulders, obviously just trying to place well in this tournament and come out and get it done. 250, 153 in the map 1, 6-4 map 2. They lose 3-0 in the vault control, which again, so weird seeing our one of our dominant game modes looking off this weekend. Especially and then they were able to close out a close map 4 on Hacienda. Dashy was shooting this series, Mercules was shooting this series, but overall just a good series overall from OpTic.
Yeah, man, I wanted Rocker to overtake Boston. I fucking hate Boston. They're so inconsistent and they never make changes, so they obviously don't give a shit about winning, so why would we want them at champs? And sadly, they had to face OpTic, so I had to cheer for OpTic there. But Rocker could have done it. In a different world.
They could have in another timeline, perhaps. But hey, OpTic makes a top 4, and they have a chance to put on the Sunday Whites with Mercules, and so they do. They go into Championship Sunday. They're the first match. They play 100T or LA Thieves, sorry, and LA Thieves are just running hot, man. OpTic is very close to being able to compete with these top 2 teams, but unfortunately, today was not the day. OpTic take the map 1, which had us feeling nice, 250 to 237. They lose 6-4 in the S&D, 3-2 in the control, and then get smoked on the map 4 vault. They were just overall playing well as a team, and unfortunately, OpTic, no one was getting shit on.
Yeah.
So a couple bad plays here and there, and just didn't fall the way. Thieves are looking like just the best team in the game. So
yeah, man. After the listen in map 1, I was like, yeah, Thieves are taking this tournament. They were so fucking locked in. Like, that was some of the best comms we've heard all year. And Thieves have had some of the worst comms we've heard all year when they're not on. So you could just tell that they were on a different level today. And yeah, they dominated. Yeah,
not even close. And so going into the winners finals, we have Miami going up against FaZe. FaZe were able to take this one 3-1 overall, and it was pretty dominant, honestly. The map 1 was the craziest map 1 we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, that was definitely a close map, but the rest of the series, they handled business. It was 249 to 250. If you haven't seen the ending minute of that hardpoint, it's one of the craziest endings in Call of Duty history. So I definitely recommend going and checking that out. But BZ and Celium had a great series, and everyone negative on the side of Miami. So they're gonna have to fall, like you mentioned earlier, and play Thieves again.
Mm-hmm. And that map 1 really was the craziest hardpoint I think I've ever watched. It was 249 to 183 ridiculous. Or some shit at one point, and FaZe just kept contesting Hill at the last possible millisecond. Like, I'd be like, oh, that's game. Oh, Abizi's on. It's fucking insane. I don't know how they did that. Yep. They were playing some of the best hardpoint I've ever seen in the last minute of a match, but they still fell short, which is tragic.
Yep. Yeah, but they regained the next 3 maps. I listened to the comms of that map, and they were like, they didn't even care that they lost the map. They're like, holy shit. They're like, we're good. That was insane. Like, don't even worry about that. Like, we just brought that shit back. We're good.
I don't know how they understand Celium and chaos.
I don't either.
Like, in the midst of that type of chaos, how do you understand Celium?
I have no idea. No idea.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Miami go down to FaZe and drop and play Thieves, and Thieves were coming for blood.
Yeah.
They smoke them 3-0, and they had a lot of shit to say after this one. 250, 200, 6-3, 3-1. Hydra and Scrap went fucking nuts. Scrap, of course, was going to have a bounce back series in this one, 1.3 with 69 kills, absolutely shitting on them, and Metals and Super negative on the side of Miami.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thieves just came out with that fire that they had from the L that they took in winners bracket and brought it to them, getting their chance in the grand finals.
Miami, that series, we knew Thieves were gonna shit on them bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Thieves make the losers bracket run after falling winners round 2 and rematch up against FaZe in the grand finals, and LA Thieves were able to take this one 4-2. So for our 4 majors this year, we had FaZe, Thieves. So you got to think OpTic's going to win champs.
Yep. That's exactly how that works.
Exactly.
If OpTic wins champs, bro, that is the craziest 2 years of COD.
Craziest year. Yeah, insane. That would be ridiculous. But overall, really, really good tournament. Great to see COD and Halo at the same event. Shout out to the Thieves, much deserving win, and they're definitely the best team in the game right now. So we'll see who's able to take home COD champs. Is it going to be which 2-timer, which 2 Pete teams?
Do we have the bracket?
Or will it be someone new this year?
Do we have the bracket available?
Yeah, you should be able to hear upcoming
forget.
matches. Click on the thing. Yeah, here we go.
Upcoming, yeah. All right.
So, winners round one. Oh, I guess everyone's in winners round one.
Yeah.
But we'll have LA Thieves against the Boston Breach. That's going to be a shit pumping. Much deserved though, because they're their first seed. They're back to back. They deserve to have the easiest matchup. And then we get into Vancouver Surge versus Miami. Now, if we get the Surge we saw at Major 4, it's going to be a 3-0. I mean,
Yeah.
Miami are looking good. So we'll see. It all depends on what Surge we get. And then we got Atlanta FaZe versus OpTic Texas,
Fuck.
which is, but like those, like we could have, Texas could have 3-0'd them in that if if we don't get double naded, and then if we clutch up on
they
the
could have.
one.
And I always feel like FaZe, their first match of a tournament, kind of come out a little slow. So
True. We'll see. And then we got Toronto going up against Carolina. So that's a rematch from Major 4. And I think it's going to be another map 5 based on, unless Toronto comes back to form, then it's going to be a smoke show. But based on how Toronto's been looking, it should be a good match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is going to be hard, bro. OpTic's got a tough side of the bracket.
Yeah, they do.
Having to play FaZe first.
Yeah, but then, then look who they, instead of having to play.
Yeah, then beatable.
Yeah, if they win that, then they have the easier side of the bracket.
I'd be way more scared if they had to play Miami if they won against FaZe.
They could have had to play Thieves, Miami, or
Thieves
Vancouver
have a bye week
round
side. 1. Thieves got a bye match.
Yeah, they got a bye. Dead ass. That's funny. Yeah, but if they win that match one against FaZe, they could, they've already beaten Toronto, and they can beat Carolina, obviously. So they're destined for a top 3 if they win that match.
Yeah,
so
they just got to beat FaZe. That's it. And then
that's it.
And then you're in the mix.
Absolutely.
So let's go.
So yeah. Also, again, at DreamHack, we were watching some Halo as well. So, we weren't able to watch every match because, they go through pool play starting on Friday, and then they get into the championship bracket play on Saturday. So, not as much to watch on a consistent basis. So we're trying to tune in when we can on our phones and make the trips over there while there were some good matches going on, especially for OpTic. So OpTic, unfortunately, had to play Shopify Rebellion winners round 1, right?
Yeah.
Winners round 1, and they fall map 5, I believe.
That was the one that we went to go watch, and it was over. And by the time we got there,
it was over. Yeah. So we went to go watch that one. They fall map 5, and they make the run. They make the run all the way back through the losers bracket. Later on in the winners round, or in the winners bracket, Shopify Rebellion actually lost to TSM.
No, they lost to FaZe.
OpTic or Fate. Wait, really?
Yeah, 3-2.
Okay. They lost to FaZe, who were having a great tournament so far, and OpTic had to meet them again in the losers bracket at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and they smoked them 3-0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3-0 smoke show, and get their chance in the losers finals, and then made their way and bracket reset in the grand finals against FaZe. It was 4-0. For the bracket reset, or 4-1, right? Wait, which one was
the first one
4-1?
Was 4-1, the second one was 4-0.
Yeah, so they shit pumped them in the grand finals, making the losers round 1 run, which is absolutely typical. 2 tournaments in a row that they've done it.
Yeah. Yeah, Halo's pretty interesting this year. This might be the most competitive year of Halo we've had, I feel like. Obviously, it's pretty top heavy with OpTic and Shopify. No one seems to be able to beat them, but we got Envy, who played pretty well at this tournament.
Yeah. FaZe,
TSM, which we've known TSM's a top 4 team. They were the KCP guys like Manny and Talik and all them. So they've been in Sundays before. So that's a good squad. FaZe looked really good, but then FaZe had team issues and made a team change after this tournament. So FaZe and SSG, the 3 and 4 teams, they had some internal issues after this tournament, it seemed. There's a lot of drama, and they ended up making team changes with each other, I guess, basically. So FaZe was Trippy, Penguin, Suppressed, and Falcated, but now Suppressed and Falcated left, and it's Trippy, Penguin, Snakebite, and Lucid. So, that's a solid team. Just OpTic, but minus formal add snakebite. They might be nasty. And then Space Station is Eco Stellar, and then I guess they got suppressed and falcated from FaZe.
I can't remember exactly, but
pretty
probably.
sure that's it. So they made some team swaps. Obviously, Stellar was never happy with how they were going about things and playing the game, and he was always bitching in APG's chat. And I don't think him and Lucid really ever saw eye to eye, so that team blew up, and yeah, it's going to be interesting going forward. That being said, Envy's decent. Apparently, Descendant is really good, or Precision.
Piggy.
And people were trying to pick up Precision, I guess, but his buyout was too big, so they didn't.
I heard Precision was one of the worst teammates of all time.
Really?
I saw a tweet about him being a dog shit teammate.
It was either him or Descendant. I forget who FaZe initially tried to pick up, but their buyout was
I thought it was Piggy.
No. And then TSM, obviously, Druk, Soul Snipe, Talik, Manny, like they're good. They're going to be in the top 4, top 6 area, depending on who they play. So it's pretty competitive right now. I want to see one of the teams that you wouldn't expect like make it to a grand finals.
Which FaZe did this tournament.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like we kind of expected them. You know, they're a 3-4 type of team.
Yeah.
They've got winners on their team, like people who have never won a tournament.
I didn't have them beating Shopify to get there, though.
No, definitely not. But I'm just saying, like these teams that have never won anything, like FaZe has champions on their team, you know.
Yeah.
So like I want to see like Manny and them make a run or something, because they've been grinding for years now, and they're always at the top, but they just can't beat the top. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see what happens. I think Lethal probably gonna retire soon if they keep having bad runs. Like they got knocked out losers round 1 to Gen G, and people are saying he's loving the couch with Maniac. So maybe they be a little trio. Lethal, APG, Maniac. That'd be a content powerhouse for Halo.
It would. It would.
But yeah, Halo was fun. I will say at DreamHack, I wish they had a little bit of a better stage. It felt like they were just very off to the side. Like, yeah, fuck it. If you guys like Halo, just go watch them over there. Stay away from us.
Yeah, it's next to their booth.
Yeah, there was not much. Cool. It was kind of empty over there past Halo. It felt weird. It felt very small compared to COD. Yeah. COD was a fucking spectacle. It had its own arena.
COD, it had its own arena. You had to have, you had to be, over 21 to get in there because we were serving drinks and shit like that.
Yeah, it was sick. So, it was sick.
Yeah, it was much better.
But yeah, that was Halo.
But yeah,
OpTic.
That was Halo and COD. DreamHack events were great.
All right, moving on to Rocket League. NA Open 6 happened during DreamHack. It didn't happen at DreamHack, though. And really the only story was who was going to take the 4th spot for LAN. Was it going to be SSG or was it going to be Complexity? They were 2 points difference going into this. And SSG said, we're taking this shit. And they ended up winning the entire Open. Those boys are gross. Bunch of young guns. They're fucking bumpy, cringe gameplay, whatever you want to call it. But those dudes are mechy, and they are the next up-and-comers in NA. So it's cool to see them win. Sure. But taking a look at group stage here, NRG made a nice little run. And, as expected, 3-2ing what's up. That was a little close for Comfort, but they ended up 3-0ing Evo after that. SSG 3-0'd Bubble Sort, and then here it is, the matchup, SSG Complexity, and SSG 3-0's them dominantly, 5-1, 2-1, and then 4-3. What else can you say? They came out here and took it. So Complexity would have had to make a crazy losers run, which they did, and then they qualified for Sunday. They 4-1 deleted, but then they get shit on by Gen G. So Gen G said, SSG, we got y'all, don't worry. Even though we already clinched the major appearance, we're going to shit on Complexity for you. And they did. So SSG, they qualified as soon as that match was over. And
they
didn't stop there. They 4-3 Gen G. They said, thanks, guys, but we're not going to let you win. We're going to 4-3 you. That was a crazy-ass series, 7 games. I've rewatched a little bit of it. Real back and forth, crazy series. And then they played the Ultimates in the finals because the Ultimates 4-1 to NRG, which is rare. I feel like NRG suns them. And then Space Station took it 4-0. 1-0, 3-2, 4-3, 4-1. Closing it out with a 4-1 dominant performance from the Young Guns. And yeah, so we got NRG, the Ultimates, Genji, and Space Station going to represent North America at Major 2. Let's take a look at the Major 2 bracket, because that is coming up soon. June 28th is when playoffs start. So June 26th is when Swiss stage begins.
Okay.
And it's here home in Raleigh, North Carolina, baby.
Let's go. 3 weeks.
Yes, sir. So, obviously we got Swiss, but coming out of Europe, we got Dignitas, who had a really good split. They ended up winning one of the opens, and in crazy fashion. I mean, they're just like a team that makes series way harder than they need to be, but that's fun.
Yeah.
Gentlemates made it out of Europe. It was between them and GK. Gentlemates is Seiko, Juicy, and Eugen. I've never heard of Eugen, but I know Seiko and Juicy. They've been some top EU players for a while. K-Corp, of course, and Vitality, of course. And then, our NA guys. Virtus Pro took over Luminosity's roster. They are like a Oceania type team. Maybe, Asia Pacific. Sosa is a North American, and I'm pretty sure Sphinx is the keyboarder. These are just Swiss teams, so it really doesn't matter. Foot is Sub-Saharan Africa's team. VK Sailing I've heard of, never heard of the other two. And then Mina, obviously we got Falcons and Twisted Minds, both good teams that could make it through Swiss. Furia obviously is going to be South America's representative, and then Secret is like decent, but I don't expect them to make it out. So it's going to be crazy. Wildcard has been winning everything in the Oceania region. Fever, Torsos, and Banana Head. Good Aussie players right there. Banana Head.
I'm a fan immediately.
But yeah, it's going to be crazy. Swiss happens, and then playoffs. Top 8.
Let's go. The end of June is going to be fire.
So,
can't wait. We're going to have COD. We're going to have Rocket League.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, dope. All right. Well, that's it for our esports coverage here. Let's go ahead and round off episode 64 with pick and bans. All right. Let's wrap up episode 64. I'll get us started here. My pick is pickleball. Had a company little activity this week. We went and played pickleball, and I've played tennis, I've played ping pong, so I knew what was happening a little bit. But once I learned the actual rules of pickleball and got locked in, I'm here for it.
Really?
It was fun as hell, man. It was actually super fun to play. I just thought it would be no different than tennis or whatnot, and it really isn't. But at the same time, it's just much easier to get it over and just to hit it in general. So the paddles are definitely smaller than a tennis racket, but that's the only slight difference. I was hitting that bitch on the edges at time, like, gosh damn it, how did I miss that shit? But overall, it was really fun, and it definitely gets a bad rap for like how
old people
I guess how the people act. Yeah, the old people play it, and then just like the way people act like in pickleball. But it was fun. I mean, we went to Chicken and Pickle, the place that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are part owners, investors in. And we had lunch there and then played some pickleball. So it was fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about pickleball. Like people that have played it.
That have played it. Yeah. Right.
Everyone that plays it loves it. So sounds fun. Hell yeah. My pick is the Pick'ems system in Counter-Strike. I think more games need to do this, especially Call of Duty. But COD doesn't give a fuck about their esport. But it's so fun. Like you get a souvenir pass for $10 and you make your Pick'ems, and depending on how many you get right, you get like souvenir tokens that just give you a crate to open. And the crates have weapons, which the odds are way harder than a normal case to get. But some of the weapons in there are worth thousands. Like the Desert Hydra op is like 1,000 plus if you pull it. Like there's all kinds of good weapons in there. And they come with gold stickers on the guns already. So 2 of them are team logos. Yeah. One of them's a tourney logo, and one is like a signature or something. No signatures this time. What's the other one? Tourney logo, team logos. Map. The map logo. Whatever map they played on. So it's just really fun. It keeps you engaged in the tournament. You start watching matches of teams you don't give a shit about because you have pick'ems on the line.
It's like gambling.
Yeah, and you get a coin that represents the tournament, and it starts at bronze. And then if you get 5 out of 10 pick'ems correct in stage 1, then it goes to silver. If you get 5 out of 10 correct in stage 2, it goes to gold, and so on until you get to a diamond coin. So if you have a diamond coin, you can show that off like, yeah, check this out. I fucking got all my pick'ems
cool.
right. So I think it's fun. Cool. Imagine if they had that in COD. More people that play ranked that don't watch COD see on the main menu like, oh, do these pick'ems and get a sick skin for your Amez.
Yeah.
People would start tuning in. And,
absolutely.
And it would be way more fun. The community would be tighter. It would be great. So shout out CS. They're doing it right. More games need to do that.
No, yeah,
that's
really
cool.
Fun. That's definitely cool. Staying on the topic of CS, my ban is Steam because I changed my password before I bought a knife on Skinport and cannot trade for 5 days because I recently changed my password.
Yeah.
Listen, I get it. That's great security, but 5 days? Are we for real?
Yeah.
5 days.
I just think all the bots and
24 hours max.
All the bots and shit have ruined the market. Because when we first started playing CS a couple years ago, you could get a weapon and then instantly sell it or instantly trade it again. But now anytime something new enters your inventory, 7-day trade lock on it. So it's just the market moves way slower. Like the new stickers just came out. Everyone had to wait a week for those to hit the market. So I don't know. It's
that's absurd.
Very secure now.
Oh, yeah, so I got to wait till Tuesday to get that knife.
Yeah.
Get my marble fade. Right?
Yep.
Is that what I got?
Yep.
Yeah, marble fade butt plugs.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait.
Great knife. All right. My ban is terrorism. The Halaban came to OKC. The Halaban came to OKC, man. Honestly, I've been so delusional with how good OKC's playing. I thought we would just come out game 1 and shit on them. And they did for 3.5 quarters. And then the 3-minute mark rolled around, and Tyrese Halliburton is a fucking sicko. He loves that shit. Anytime it's late in the game and they can come back, he's like, give me the ball. Give me the ball. He is. He's like, it's like pickup basketball, and the best player on the court is like, give me the ball. I'm going to hit this game winner real quick. He does it every fucking series.
He has.
I was a hater, and then like the third time he did it, I was like, okay, wait, he's kind of like that.
He has 5 over the past 2 years. LeBron has a total of 8.
Yeah, and
that's absurd.
4 of them are this year.
Yeah, 4 of them are this year.
Yeah, he's nuts, dude. So that guy just lives for the clutch. You got to give it to him. He's a dog.
He's got ice in his veins.
He's a dog. And some of these shots are fucking insane. Like, he's running around in circles just getting hounded, and then he just turns around and pulls up anyways. Goes in.
Yep.
Like, he's a sicko.
On some weird Curry shit.
Yeah,
like,
so he's made it a lot harder for the Thunder to win. They stole the fuck out of game 1, and now I'm scared.
Yeah, I think he'll still win.
I hope so.
I think you might rattle off 4 in a row, if I'm being honest.
Got to come out hot game 2.
You have to. I mean, it's set up for you to, though. Usually that's what happens.
I'm thinking it's 6. I'm thinking we win in 6, maybe 7.
You think they win a home game?
Yeah, I think the Pacers just have a way of not letting you win 4 in a row. They're too icy, team of destiny.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna do some crazy shit again somewhere around game 4.
What's the guy's name that died? What's the Colts owner that died?
Jim Irsay.
Jim Irsay.
Yeah, they're doing it for Jim.
He made them the team of destiny, bro. That was the same night that the back of the rim, 20 feet in the air, and it came down. Really? That was that night.
Damn, that's crazy.
When Halliburton hit that.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I still got the Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder for sure.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 64 of the Next Wave podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. And we'll see you guys in episode 65. Deuces.